Hi, welcome to Machine Learning Bootcamp. Over next 15 minutes, we'll learn probability theory. This would set up us nicely to understand Bayes theorem. Bayes theorem is foundation to understanding naive Bayes classifier. So let's start with understanding probability theory. A probability is a measure of uncertainty. The probability of an event A is a numerical measure of likelihood of that event occurring. To understand probability theory, let's understand 5 core rules. These rules will help us develop intuitive understanding of the probability theory. Rule 1 is probability of any event happening satisfies an equation that probability is always between 0 and 1. The minimum value that a probability of an event can take place is 0 and the maximum probability of an event taking place is 1. Rule 2. Probability of an event not happening is simply 1 minus probability of that event happening. Rule 3. Union rule. Probability of an event or another event happening. So read this as probability of either of event A or event B happening is given by sum of probabilities of A, probabilities of B less probability of A and B happening. If you're not able to follow, don't worry, we'll go through all these rules one by one again. Rule 4. For mutually exclusive events, probability of A and B happening is 0. Rule 5 is a conditional probability rule. This states probability of an event A happening given probability B is probability of A and B over probability of B. Now let's understand these rules one by one in more detail. Rule 1 was probability of any event A satisfies an equation that it's always between 0 and 1. Now imagine a deck of well shuffled cards. Now if you randomly draw a card, what is the probability of a card being spade? There are 52 cards in a deck, 13 of each suit. In our example, our suit is spade. So the probability of the card being a spade card would be 13 over 52 or 1 by 4 or 25%. What would be the probability of a die, a balanced fair die, of it landing upon 6? Now there are 6 faces to the die. Each face has equal chance of appearing. So the way you calculate probability is the number of events of interest over all the possibility of events. In here the event of interest is the die landing 6 up. So there is just one chance that it can happen only in one way. So our numerator becomes 1 and denominator would be sum of all possible events. So we have it can land on any of the 6 faces. So we have total 6 number of possibilities. So in our case, probability of a die landing on 6 becomes 1 by 6. Probability of you mastering machine learning, if you stick to these classes and practice regularly, I would put it at 1 or 100%. Rule 2. Probability of something not happening is 1 minus probability of that event happening. So imagine event space as set of all possibilities. So this would be the gray circle in the presentation. Now in that, if we have some events of interest which we call A, the probability of that A becomes a subset of all the possibilities. In the slide you would see this as that white circle. So by definition, if the white circle is probability of event of our interest, everything else becomes probability of that event not happening. This is denoted by the gray area in the larger circle. So given the maximum possibility of anything is 1, by simple logic we conclude that probability of A or an event not happening is 1 minus probability of that event happening. Let's understand it more concretely with an example. Let's say you have a deck of cards. Now your deck of cards has only 13 cards and all of them are spade cards. You can see them on screen, ace, 2, 3, so on and so forth, but all of these are spade. Now if I ask a question, what is the probability of you drawing a joker? What would your answer be? 0. So probability of something not happening. So let's say what is the probability of drawing an ace of spade? Now you might say ace of spade 1 over, you have 13 cards because all the cards that you have were spades and you had 13 cards. So 1 by 13. If I flip the question around and ask what is the probability of the card that you drew was not an ace, then it becomes 1 minus probability of drawing ace, which was 1 over 13. Your answer would be 1 less 1 by 13, or simplified further, 12 by 13. Rule 3, also known as union rule. Simply put, it says probability of any two events happening, A or B, is equal to probability of A plus probability of B less probability of A and B happening together. Let's understand it more concretely with an example. Let's say you have again a pair of well shuffled a deck of well shuffled cards. Now you want to understand the probability of drawing an ace or a heart. So you draw one card and the question asked is what is the probability that the card that you have drawn is either an ace or a heart. Now plugging this onto equation, probability of the card being ace or heart becomes probability of the card being an ace plus probability of card being a heart less probability of card being ace and heart. That means it's a heart ace. So probability of you getting an ace would be 4 by 52, 52 being the number of cards and there are 4 aces in a deck, so 4 by 52. Probability of you drawing a heart would be 13 by 52 because there are 13 heart cards in a deck, so 13 over 52 less. In the entire deck there is only one ace of hearts, so minus 1 by 52 giving 16 by 52 as an answer. Represented visually, you might see it as intersection of two circles, the green circle being probability of an event A, the blue circle representing probability of an event B. The intersection, overlap of these circles can be understood or interpreted as probability of A and B, both. The union here would be the entirety, the entire circle, this part. And that is called probability of A union B. Now when we add two circles, we have added probability of A and then probability of B. We see the overlapped area occurs twice. You would have added it as a part of A and then again as a part of B. That's the reason why we subtract this part once, because this is the area that we need to calculate to get to the probability of union. Let's try understanding by one more example. Suppose a chance of you getting offered a certain job is 0.4 and probability of getting another job is 0.5. Now if I ask a question, what is the probability of being offered both the jobs? I would be asking about the intersection part. So let's say our probability of getting both the jobs is 0.3. Now by the rule of unions, probability of getting either of the two jobs, that means probability A union B, becomes probability of A 0.4 plus probability of B 0.5 less probability of you getting both the jobs minus 0.3, and hence your answer would be 0.6. There is 60% chance that you would be offered either A or B, either job A or job B. Now, for mutually exclusive events, please note that the probability of A intersection B is always 0. By mutually exclusive, we mean to say when one event happens, the other cannot happen. That means there is no intersection between these two circles, and hence there is no notion of probability of A intersection B. These two circles are not touching each other. Let's take one example to understand it more concretely. Let's say you draw one card from a deck of well shuffled cards. Now if I ask a question, what is probability of the card being either a heart or a spade? Plugging this into our prior equation of union rule, we might say probability of the card being either a heart or a spade would be probability of a heart plus probability of us drawing a spade less probability of the card being a heart and a spade. Now we know probability of heart would be 13 by 52 because there are 13 hearts in a deck. Probability of the card being a spade would also be 13 by 52 because there are 13 spades in a deck. However, we cannot have one card being both a heart and a spade. This is what is meant by mutually exclusive events, and hence the term P heart intersection spade becomes 0, and hence probability of the card being either a heart or a spade becomes just sum of the probabilities of a card being either a heart and the probability of a card being a spade. So for mutually exclusive events, the last term of heart intersection spade or probability of A intersection B is always 0. This brings up to the final rule, which is also the conditional probability. It states probability of A given B is probability of A and B happening together divided by probability of B, the latter. So let's understand it more concretely with an example. The example would be, as a part of drive to modernize the economy, the government is pushing for starting 100 new projects, both in computers and as well as telecommunications. Now, there are two giants, US based, IBM and AT&T. They have signed these contracts, and the contracts are split as shown in the diagram. 40 projects for IBM and 60 projects for AT&T respectively. Out of the 40 that IBM have, 30 of these are computer projects and 10 are telecom projects. Out of the 60 projects that AT&T has bagged, 40 are in telecommunications and 20 are in computer areas. Now the question is, given that a randomly chosen product is in telecommunications, what is the probability that it is undertaken by IBM? Now let's understand it first intuitively, and then we'll plug our intuition to a formula. This would help us formalize our understanding. So intuition tells us, what do we need to calculate first? We need to calculate what is the information that we have. We have that our total set of possibilities is all the projects in telecommunications, because this is given that a randomly chosen project is in telecommunications. So a denominator for this probability would be all the telecommunication projects, which are, because there were 40 for AT&T and 10 for IBM, this becomes 50. So total number of our possibility of events is 50. What is the probability that it is undertaken by IBM? Now if I see these 50, you would see out of the 50 of telecommunications, there would be 10 with IBM and 40 with AT&T. So that allows me to say that probability of a chosen telecom project being undertaken by IBM would be 10 over 50. 1 by 5, 0.2 or 20%. Now let's try to fit our understanding and intuition onto this formula called conditional probability formula. So I would write this as probability of a project being with IBM given, read this symbol, the pipe symbol as it is known as given or conditional upon. So probability of a project with IBM conditional upon that the project is from telecoms, or I might also read it as probability, or to make it more simple, probability of a project being with IBM given the project is from telecom is equal to probability of the project being with IBM and being a telecom project divided by probability of project being a telecom project. Now I just have to plug in the numbers. Probability of a project being an IBM and being a telecom project. If I go back to the question, IBM has 10 projects in telecommunications and our overall number of projects are 100, 10 over 100 divided by probability of a project being telecom. Overall we saw there are 50 telecommunication projects, so 50 over 100, and if I divide 10 by 100 over 50 by 100, answer is same, 20%. So that provides intuitional understanding of conditional probability. Conditional probability helps us understand a probability given some constraint. In here we are trying to understand probability of project being with IBM given the constraint that the project is a telecom project. Here is a short video which I want all of you to watch. This helps understand the concepts that we have covered so far in a visual way. Next, we would understand Bayes theorem. Thank you.